Once upon a time, in a quaint little town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a portly man named Edward. Edward was known far and wide for his robust figure and his booming laughter that could be heard from miles away. However, there was one thing about Edward that made him stand out in a rather peculiar way: his uncontrollable, and sometimes comically timed, flatulence. Edward, despite his jovial nature, had a little secret. No matter where he went or what he did, his digestive system seemed to have a mind of its own, and the townspeople couldn't help but be witnesses to the symphony of burps and breezes that emanated from him. One sunny day, Edward was invited to a grand feast at the mayor's residence. Excited and hungry, he waddled his way through the narrow streets, causing a few chuckles and giggles from the locals who were well acquainted with his peculiar predicament. As Edward entered the elegant dining hall, adorned with flickering candles and polished silverware, he couldn't help but feel a rumble in his stomach. Unbeknownst to him, this feast was about to become the stage for his most legendary performance. The mayor, a dignified man with a handlebar mustache, welcomed Edward with open arms. As everyone gathered around the sumptuous feast, Edward took his place at the center of attention. The first course was served, a steaming bowl of lentil soup. Just as the mayor began a toast, Edward's digestive orchestra struck up its first note. A thunderous burst echoed through the hall, making the chandeliers quiver. The guests exchanged surprised glances, unsure of whether to burst into laughter or maintain their composure. As the feast progressed, Edward's antics continued. Each dish seemed to trigger a new movement in his symphony, a crescendo of toots and trumpets that left the guests in stitches. The more they tried to suppress their laughter, the more infectious it became. Despite the chaos, Edward remained blissfully unaware of the uproar he was causing. He enjoyed every bite of the delicious food, oblivious to the fact that he had become the unwitting maestro of mirth. Eventually, the mayor stood up, wiping tears of laughter from his eyes. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "let us raise a toast to Edward, the unparalleled performer of the Wind Symphony. May his melodies forever bring joy to our hearts." And so, in that little town, Edward became a legend, not for his size or his laughter, but for the unique and uproarious symphony he unintentionally orchestrated. The townspeople learned to appreciate the humor in life, embracing the unexpected, one toot at a time.